Hey guys, Robert Walker here, and I want to show you how you can make your own settings for your glass cabochons for jewelry making. I looked everywhere on YouTube and I couldn't find anything like this, so I figured I'd do a quick video. Okay, so the sculpt is done with monster clay. It's like a waxy clay. You warm it in the oven and it's really fun to sculpt with, but you have to cast with it because it never dries. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sculpt around your cabochon. See, I have a little one in there too. It's going to be like a jewel. So I wanted a kind of like a wood looking thing, and you don't want to have any undercuts. Also, I've learned that sculpting it directly onto a piece of glass is the way to go, because when you cast these, you will have no cleanup. They'll cast perfect. It's just trial and error. So, and then while you're sculpting this, take this in and out. Sometimes, because if you leave it in there and you're sculpting and sculpting and sculpting, it's gonna get stuck. And when you have to take it out, it's gonna be a hassle. So let me show you how I take this out. Let me see. I've got this kind of dental looking tool, and just get in there and pop it out. And this came out easy because I've done this a couple times. I actually had to re-sculpt a lot of it because I left it in too long and it started sticking really bad. So take both of these out when you're ready to do your mold. And make sure your setting looks nice and smooth, and you can see the oil on it. Some of the tools I use can create this. This is one of my favorites. Create the same thing with the paper clip. This, I showed you this already. The dental tool helps get the cabochon out. An old X-Acto blade or box cutter thing. And then I use a paintbrush with olive oil. It helps you smooth down, or any kind of oil that you have. Helps you smooth down your edges and stuff. And then you are going to, so before I make another one, I'm going to go to the dollar store and actually get a smaller piece of glass. This is a little bit too big for what I want to use. So then we're going to create a mold using Lego. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, I want to show you real quick. So basically I have a moat around there. What is it, like 4 high? But you see all this empty space I have in here? Because of my glass is too big. That's why I want to get a smaller piece of glass. But the materials they're expensive to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this in with more Lego, and then I'll probably just like hot glue it to this glass so it doesn't move when I pour the silicone. So I just want to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I got my mold built. I'm going to show you. And I've decided I'm not going to glue it in. I think it's pretty stable. It's not a square, but you see I've got a nice border around that's going to create a pretty strong mold. And remember to take your glass pieces out, because if you don't, you're going to be screwed. Okay, so what I use is this Smooth On Umu 30. It's two parts. I like to use this kind of cup that has the measurements on it. Some people will pour them, use 3 cups, and I cringe at the amount of plastic they use, and then they throw them away after. What's cool about this is use 1 cup. Oh, real quick, buy this when you're ready to use it, because it goes bad really quick. And then once you open it, you've got to use it pretty fast because it'll harden up on you. So, yeah, you pour 2 parts. You mix these to what you think will be enough to cover that. And I always guess wrong. I've already stirred this before, because you need to stir it. And be precise with this, because you don't want to mess up your sculpt. So, and you know what, this also works. I'm showing you like a cabochon, but you can also, what I've been doing is making creatures with eyes. So, same idea. Okay, so we got 5, and so the cabochon would basically be the eye. So if you want to make, let your imagination go crazy. Okay. I'm usually like eye level with this. So yeah, then you mix this up, and I'm going to show you how to pour it. I'm going to mix it off camera because I hate YouTube videos that are too long. Instructional ones, I end up fast forwarding them and then missing it, and I have to rewatch it. So I am going to mix this up real quick. Okay, so make sure you mix it really good. It turns into this like kind of periwinkle color, and then it's almost the same color as our house. Anyways, when you pour it, you're gonna want to choose a corner and stay in that corner, and then just pour it in. And I like to have like, you see I'm not doing this for show, this long pour, because it stretches out some of the bubbles. And when you're mixing it, try to create as little bubbles as possible, because those will be imperfections. Wow. This might be the first time I mixed up the right amount. Maybe I'm getting better at this. So yeah, maybe I mixed up too much actually. Oh well. Just gonna fill it up. No, I think this is perfect. Perfect. So yeah, you want a good amount of rubber or silicone all the way around, so your mold is thick and will last you some time. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh shit, you didn't see me. Oh well. So yeah, you can see. I'm not gonna pick it up. But yeah, so that's our mold, and then it's gotta dry. I forget how long. I've only done 3 of these, but I'm gonna let it dry, and then I will show you how to do the do a cast. Okay, so it has dried. It's nice and hard. I am gonna take this apart and make sure it all turned out good. And then I will do a quick cast to show you how I do that. This is the most time-consuming part. The casting goes pretty quick. You can actually do quite a few in a day with one mold if you get a fast setting resin. This is what I've used so far in my little creatures. It's I can't read it backwards. Polyurethane casting resin. Product is FabiCast 50, and it's equal parts 1 and 1, and it sets crazy fast. And I wanted to show you, this is that cup that I used, and look how it, so you can reuse the same cup over and over and over again, and it works the same with this. You leave your popsicle stick in there with this, and it's clean. You can pull the whole leftovers out. So I'm gonna take this apart, and I will show you how I do a cast. Okay, I got my my mold, and I want to show you something real quick before I do my cast. I forgot a step. I forgot to spray this mold release on my sculpture, so you can see along the edges. I really had a time getting it out. I had to use a butter knife. Luckily, it didn't do anything to the sculpture, so the mold is good. But yeah, don't forget to do the mold release, and every time before you do a cast, you're gonna want to spray it in here. It's I didn't realize how important it was, but yeah, and it'll help your mold last longer. So on to our cast. Okay, so I have already poured my first half of the resin in there, so you guys don't have to watch me do this. And then I'm getting ready to do my other bit right now. And you want to be as precise as possible. And then, because this stuff is expensive, and if you're an artist, you gotta be thrifty. This first amount, I made sure I poured more than enough. And then, what's cool about these cups is, as you do more and more pours, you can, you know, really dial in exactly what you need. And you've got to be fast with this. So, because it sets up really fast. So make sure it'll clear, start to get clear, so it's right there right now. And I already went outside and sprayed my mold release. Okay. I feel like that looks pretty good. A little bit more. Yeah, so I could actually, I did way too much. But yeah, that's it. And this will start to cure in just a second. I'm gonna just see if it'll do it while we are, I just want you to see how fast. It's pretty crazy. Okay. This is exciting, right? I should wait. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. It's pretty crazy. And then it'll be done in about, it'll get really hot, and then it will be done in about 15 minutes. You can take it out and do another pour. So yeah, they're quick. And so here it is. This is our cast. It popped out of there really easily, and it only took like 5 minutes. And then our cabochons fit perfectly in here. I've got two. So now the fun part, I get to go paint it. So I hope this helps some of you guys. Like I said, I looked everywhere for something like this and couldn't find anything. So I'm gonna put shrink down one of my paintings, attach it to this, which you just look up how to make glass cabochons. There's bazillions of videos on how to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, and there you go.